We're good. We're good. You think,
All right.
We're timing out. Like my camera keeps timing out here.
So when you're up against the wall and your arm's broken, it's tough to go in there. I understand 100% why he took it. As a supporter of Ryan Ford, the man, I support him in his decision 100%. And this might ruffle some feathers, but as a fight fan and as someone that breaks things down, I don't think we should have taken it.
Right, right. But you
And
know,
that's maybe
we can talk. We can't talk specific numbers because neither one of us have those numbers. But Ryan was on my show, and we touched base on this to some degree, and as he put it quite clearly on the show, he said, "I make more money for one fight than a lot of people make in a year."
100%.
You know.
No, without a doubt.
Yeah.
And because it's been a while since he had been hurt.
Right.
You know, he's got to take it, and that's what I mean. As a supporter of Ryan Ford, the man that looks after Nina and Bella and RJ and himself. Yeah, fucking right. So you do whatever it takes to feed your family.
Yeah.
You know, screw everybody else, because I'm doing this for me. But me saying it as call me an analyst, call me whatever you want of MMA, I don't think we should take it.
Right. But you know what he did that was really cool, and a lot of people actually had a lot to say about this, was before the fight happened, he released a video.
Yeah.
Now this is something maybe Pacquiao should have done.
Well, it's interesting because now let's go this way, Gord. Now we're not talking about a guy we both like on a personal level, because we don't know Pacquiao.
Right.
We're talking about a fighter, just a guy, where hundreds of thousands of people pay, whether it's $100 to watch, or, you know, I can only imagine the amount of money that was bet in the Philippines,
oh God,
world on the fight. You know, how do they feel about him taking that fight?
Well, they're launching a class action suit against him.
So there you go. So now, you know, and that's why I say as a fight fan and analysis just strictly the fight, that Ryan shouldn't have taken it. You know, it's easier to say that about somebody we don't know on a personal level.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Manny Pacquiao's not going to call Dean, or he's not going to call Chinny and say, "What the fuck did you say I shouldn't have taken that fight?"
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Ryan Ford might say, "Why the fuck did you say that about me?" Sorry, bro, it's like, no, I'm just being honest with you.
Yeah.
So, and that's why a lot of times when I get asked questions about certain people that I like, I have a hard time answering, but I'm going to answer them. That's
Right.
just the way I am. I'm going to step up and say, no, this is the way I feel. You know, I don't think you're going to win this fight, man. I cheered for you. You know, Josh Shields ripped me a little bit about it when I said, you know, Jake and I were picking that fight for World Series. I said, man, I'm cheering my ass off there. I think Josh is winning that fight. And I'm not going to pick the Canadian guys. If I'm setting odds and I think Josh Shields is going to be an underdog, then hey, I'm picking Moraes to win that fight.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would pick Josh Shields as a favorite. You know, if Jake Shields is fighting Ryan Ford, you know, I'm saying, yeah, the odds are going to have Jake Shields as the favorite. But I think the number's going to be good enough. I'll bet on Ryan Ford. I'm glad I did, finding out after that his arm was broken.
Yeah. Yeah.
But and that's a tough part of my job at times, is I like so many of these guys on a personal level, and I'm put in a spot a lot of times where I've got to pick against them, not cheer against them, but pick against them.
Yeah.
Somebody, you know, it's a member of the media, but kind of brought something up about me doing an interview with a certain fighter while I was wearing one of my fighter shirts, and this fighter beat this fighter, yada, yada, yada. But I've been put in that position many a times where I wear multiple hats in this game. And I've had my guy in the cage against somebody else, and I've either been doing play-by-play or doing ring announcing, and I've had to do a post-fight interview, and where my guy lost, where I've had to interview the other guy. And I've handled it extremely professionally every time. The guys know I'm in that situation, but guys will sit there and make fun of it. Oh yeah, now Panas has got to go interview the guy that did beat his fighter. Fuck yourself, man.
Yeah.
You know what? I know that going in, and I'm going to give this guy fucking the interview he deserves.
For sure.
And I'm going to handle it professionally. And the fighters have never had a problem with it, you know?
Yeah.
They kind of tease me about a raptor and joke around. I'm like, yeah, you know, yeah, got me. But certain guys will just take pokes and tricks, try and get under my skin whenever they can. And I just sit there and go, yeah, thanks, buddy. You keep paying the money to sit right behind me while I'm making good money to be here.
Yeah, right. That's right, man. But you know what? People forget, you know, they don't see, you know, they think you gotta, we're fans, you know.
100%.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
And like any fan, of course, I've got my Ryan Forth set up here because that's you know, obviously one of my favorite fighters. There's no two ways about it. And it's not just because of what he does inside the cage. It's because of what he does outside of the cage. It really, like the guy, he's just an inspirational dude to me. You know what I mean? Some people speak to you on a level that other people can't really appreciate. Ryan's one of those people for me who speaks to me every day.
And before you carry on with what you're going to say about being a fan, Ryan stepped up for me on numerous occasions. I've been involved in a couple things. I coach high school football. I've done it for a while. I help out. My buddy is a assistant principal at a special needs school, and over the last few years, he's got 6-on-6 football involved in. And I've asked Ryan to come speak to the kids, and he stepped up to do that. It hasn't worked out with his schedule, but he's been always willing to do that. A couple of years ago, I got asked to MC a big ball hockey tournament here out at Northlands, and I got a bunch of the fighters. I got Jelena Marjanovic and Ryan Ford involved, and Nick Penner involved, and they got auctioned off to be a part, and they were involved. I'm talking Grant Fuhr was there.
Cool.
Who the hell else? A couple of the other others were there from back in the day, and so they were auctioned off. Certain teams that raised money, and it was a cancer fundraiser, but certain teams that raised money got to pick the athletes they wanted, and they became hits. Like Ryan and Jelena and Nick, the teams that drafted them, loved it. And they actually have built up some sponsorship and some relationships through that. So it was awesome.
Right on.
He's been there all the time. You know, he steps up for that all the time. We have a ball hockey thing with the kids or like yeah. He comes out and he's got Argue beside him, decked out, and they're like, you know, got their beat up gear on and the same matching shoes. And, you know, and he's so social. He'll talk to anybody, and that's what makes him as successful as he is. It's his charisma, and like you say, his ability to talk. So I just wanted to kind of go in that direction. But back to what you were saying about Howard Fans.
Yeah, he's just one of those people that, you know, are, you know, some people just speak to you on a personal level that other people can't really grasp. Maybe you can relate to them, you know, whatever. But you get people like that, and it makes such a, for me, it like, he's one of those guys that, for me it's Ryan Ford, for you might be somebody else. But he's one of those guys that silently, you know, he doesn't know he's doing it, but he encourages me to be more every day.
Yeah.
You know, and for me, that's what being, you know, whether you have a belt or not, that's a champ, man. You know.
Yeah, and there's a lot of really cool guys out there that I've been blessed with spend time with away from the ring and away from the cage. Couple guys that come to mind. Josh Hill, I knew nothing about him. I read the stuff in the East. I got to see him fight, and people were saying he was so boring and he would lay and wrestle guys. And then he went to the Ultimate Fighter, and things went the way they did. And Dana White was like, yeah, he just wrestled fucks, blah blah blah. And then when he came out here, and I got a chance to, that was that fight you were at when you talked about when Dwayne Lewis saw.
Yeah.
When he knocked out Mike Adams, and he actually knocked him out twice, because I don't know how the hell Mike Adams got up the first time. But then when Joshua was able to knock him out again, and I got to do that interview with Josh, and just say, man, that 10,000-pound gorilla just jumped off your back, and it was one of my favorite interviews post-fight. It's the emotion I could feel in him. And later that night we partied till fucking 5 in the morning, and it was awesome. And you got to see him away from there. And now we tease each other and joke around. I like Josh Hill a lot. And Joe Dirksen is another guy that got to know Joe through play-by-play. He worked with me a couple times. And I got to know Joe, fairly well that way. But then when I called this fight for AFC in Winnipeg when he fought Caleb Starnes, and then the next night, he didn't want to go out the night after his fight. The next night we went out and I stayed in Winnipeg and ended up crashing at his place, and man, did we get tanked. It's with him and his buddies and joking around, and it's like I drove back from Winnipeg to Edmonton the next day. I left about noon. He made me the worst eggs I've ever eaten in my life. Joe, if you're watching this, you cannot cook eggs, man. But just joking around and stuff like that. And I got nothing but respect for Joe. He got he won professional wins, and everyone, guys will go off on me on top of my news every so often, and then Dirksen will just stick his nose in there and just say, And when you got guys like Joe Dirksen and Robert Black saying you're a cool cat, fuck everybody else.
Yeah.
These guys that are going on there talking their trash, it's like that. These guys come to town and we sit here and we talk and nothing but respect. Robin's the best at what he does. Robin Black is incredible. And you talk to Joe Dirksen, he's got 51 friggin' wins. Fought the toughest guys out there. If they're willing to give me the time of day, I don't give a shit what these other guys are saying.
Yeah, Mean-Muggin motherfuckers. Yeah, Mean-Muggin motherfucker. Bastards. It's not. I almost pity him, bro. I don't say fuck. I almost pity him. Yeah. If you got to go on a forum and hide behind some name and call guys out, it's like I feel sorry for you, man. You know what? I could never see myself doing that. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah.
I feel sorry. I feel sorry for you. If you got to do that, and you hate a ring announcer or a play-by-play guy enough for you to go off, or maybe you're jealous because you don't have my job. And that might sound arrogant as fuck, but I got a pretty cool gig.
Yes.
And you'll get a chance to see it. When we're in Cold Lake, and just I'll take you behind and show you how I talk to the guys and stuff like that. It's pretty fucking cool. What I get to do is pretty damn cool.
Well, I'll see you at World Series Party 21 too.
I'm there as a fan that night. I might have to do a little bit of work that night. I'm talking there about some stuff, but I'm not sure. I'm not counting on it. I want to be a fan that night.
Yeah.
Screaming and hollering and drinking and ramming. I'll wrap arms around that beautiful boy, and when he retains his belt and stuff like that, and I'll be hooting and hollering. But when I'm working, you'll get a chance to see how cool my job is.
Cool, man. Yeah, I know. I'm looking forward to World Series of 21 because I tell you what, I got a lot of people that are looking forward to, a lot of fighters and whatnot looking forward to seeing me there. Yeah, it's really cool.
Well, let me ask you this. Chinny G show. Is that Chinny G at the fights or is that Gord at the fights?
You know what? Chinny G and Gord are pretty much the same guy.
Oh, are they?
Yeah. What you see is what you get. Yeah.
Cool, man.
My wife actually, it was really funny this morning. She was talking to one of her. She was talking to me about one of her employees, who's a big MMA fan, and he's actually got a friend fighting up here on the card at KOTC, and he's gonna get into training with him apparently. He was talking to me for a bit on the phone, but she called him because she told him about me and what I do and whatnot. And this guy, I'm chatting with him, and he says to me, he says, "Wow, you're cooler than I am." Well, how cool are you there, young fella? Because I need to gauge myself here. But my wife is such a her and I are such a paradox in personality, because she's very quiet and reserved, and then you got me, right? and this has been this personality is, I've always had this personality, and that's one of the cool things. I mean, I don't wear the hat. The hat just kind of became a gimmick, along with the safety glasses, but for me, you'll meet me, man. This is me.
Cool. Yeah, no, Karen's the same way. She wants nothing to do with fights. She doesn't come. I'm blessed. She gives me the freedom to go out of town, and when the fights are here, I go, and I'm out late. And my phone rings at 5 in the morning. As long as I answer it, and she knows I'm safe, she goes back to sleep. Like I'm truly blessed.
Yeah.
But she wants nothing to do with the fight.
You're being stalked.
What's that?
You're being stalked.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw a white panther earlier. I'm sure of it. There they are. I'm an animal guy. I love animals.
But so what the heck was I going to say? So today I showed her when you and Jake were talking. And you guys mentioned me, and you said you were talking to some guy down in the States, and some girl in Switzerland.
Yeah.
Like, they know Dean Panas, and she's like looking up. I'm fucking real deal. So she just rolled her eyes out the hands like that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. But that's true.
You fuck that bitch out in Switzerland.
Yeah. And it's funny because MMA in itself is its own community, and if you follow MMA, and we got the top 3 or 4 shows, and World Series of Fighting is in that top 3 or 4, it's nationalized. It's on national TV, so it's carried internationally. And so, you get that exposure, and and the people I deal with on a daily basis with MMA Madhouse, they cover local MMA wherever it may be, and so we all get privy to each other's, circle, as it were, right? And that's one of the things I love about MMA Madhouse, just because they actually don't focus at all on the UFC.
And that, it's real good to hear, because there's MMA and then there's UFC.
Yeah.
They're 2 totally different things.
Yeah.
It's the same sport, but they're 2 total different things. And it's amazing, and it's depressing how bad of a job locomotives have done in Edmonton of getting that out there, because I know so many people that watch UFC that have no idea how much MMA is in this town. Like, I talk to guys all the time saying, I got 3 shows this month, or, when your busy months are March, June, September, and then December. Those are your busy months when it comes to MMA. So when those months roll around, I'm super busy. Guys are like, all right, when's your next show? I'm like, that's tomorrow.
Yeah.
Next month or next week. And they're like, they have no idea. Every promoter that's ever been in this town has not done a good enough job of getting their product out there. They rely a lot on this high school or went to, play on this team, they should know about it. Because those are the guys that are going to come out and sell tickets. They've got to do a better job. A promoter is supposed to promote.
Right.
Doesn't mean matchmake and set up a venue, and it's supposed to promote. Mayweather did not, this Pacquiao thing we talked about, it should have happened 6 years ago. The fight, the promotion was incredible. The promotion of that fight was incredible. UFC, wrestling, whatever, they're relying on guys now. Now the big gimmick is guys that trash talk. It's getting attention. Conor McGregor is getting attention. He does as well as that. Well, you know what? For every Conor McGregor out there that does that gets to his level, there's 1,000 guys that look like a fucking retard because they're trash talking. They can't do what he does.
Yeah.
So they look at idiots. The promoters rely heavily on guys to do that. One thing I told Darren Owen, and I'm close friends with Darren. We talk a lot. When Jake Shields fought Ryan Ford here, what I was disappointed in is I didn't see Jake Shields posters around town. I know this is Ryan Ford's town and everybody wants to fight here. Everyone supports him and he's definitely going to be the fan favorite. But there's so many UFC fans out here that had no idea Jake Shields was in town. And there's a lot of guys that have never seen local MMA that would have come to see Jake Shields. Get him there once, Ryan Ford will bring him back.
Yeah.
Get him there once, Tim Hague will bring him back. The local guys will bring them back once they get there. But Jake Shields will actually get people there that never been there before.
Yeah.
In my opinion, Jake Shields should have been in Edmonton 6 weeks before the fight for like 3 or 4 days doing TV, doing radio, doing whatever.
Yeah.
I
met him at the weigh-ins.
But that's a job of a promoter. Get him in here. Guys don't want to be interviewing on Wednesday. They don't want to be interviewing when they're weight cutting. They don't want, bring him in 3 weeks, 4 weeks ahead of time.
Yeah, I met him there at the weigh-ins, and I talked to him for a few minutes. And I'll tell you what a super nice guy, actually.
The only fighter I've ever met that I thought was a total fucking prick is Michael Bisping. Every other fighter I've met has been awesome.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say every other fighter I've met is awesome, because that doesn't give the awesome credit. Every other fighter I've met has been good.
Well, poor Jake, he was sitting there after the weigh-ins, and he's trying to get his shoes on, brother. And people kept asking to have their picture taken with him, and he keeps trying to get his shoes on. He's trying to get his shoes on. And then next up, I was there, and I just wanted to chat with him, and he says, "Do you mind if I put my shoes on?" I said, "By all means, put your shoes on, brother." After the weigh-ins, what's on these guys' mind is getting some fucking substance into them,
Yeah.
And just to watch how he handled that whole, because he had to just want to get the heck out of there, But he was really cool about it all, and I just chatted with him for a few minutes, and somebody asked me to take a picture for them, and I did that, and whatnot. And now, what I don't understand, and I guess maybe I should, I don't know why, but after the fight all went down and all was said and done, and he got back stateside, he seemed to acquire this Diaz-esque attitude when he got stateside and started yipping, right? And it's like, well, that's not the guy I met at all. I get that.
Well, there's a reason for that, and that's because the Jake Shields on every other day of the year is different than the Jake Shields that shows up to fight.
Yeah.
Right? So that Jake Shields you saw that night was Jake Shields, the fighter. He's got this mindset where he's coming into this guy's house.
Yeah.
And everyone's against him, and that's why. And you never want to judge guys on that night, fight night. The two times you never want to judge, no different than there's Ryan Ford and there's Ryan the real deal Ford. They're two totally different people.
Yeah.
Like you had mentioned before about how that's why you like Ryan outside the cage, right? We got to meet Jake Shields. That's Jake Shields.
Yeah.
you know, the Jake, and that's why I say bring him in 3 or 4 weeks ahead of time, where, you know, he's got the time to talk to people, he's got the time to, you know, and it's not like I want people cheering against Ryan Ford, but you know, Jake Shields could have been used to sell a lot of tickets and get a lot of new fans.
Big name, yeah.
That's what, when I did the Edmonton Fight Scene Expo the first year, we had it when I got all the promoters under the same roof. And I heard Jake talk about this, how promoters never want to work together and stuff. It's like, man, get the unified fans out to the World Series so that they can fall in love with it, and they'll go to unified, and they'll go to King of the Cage, and they'll go to, you know, then, you know, get the unified fans to go to, you know, it makes it easier for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, create a fan that they come back, and that's also why you want people to get to know the fighters, because who goes to these shows? Chinny, who shows up to Cold Lake shows? The guys that know the fighters.
That's right. That's right.
Right. So the more people you get to know, the more people get to know you're a fighter, you're gonna come cheer for you.
Absolutely.
But you can't be introducing them to them on weigh-in day, because it's, you know, you got to do promotion ahead of time. If there's a fight in 3 weeks, get 6 fighters out to Original Joe's. You know, maybe you pick up a dozen fans.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you pick up whatever. Have, you know, everyone come down. You're gonna have autographs. When I got into the first fighter, I got into the management side with was Kai Moromo, and I got him, you know, met him through Frank Lee's, and then we, you know, started talking, and we wanted to get into MMA. So his first fight was with King of the Cage against a guy named Zach Bai, and I had, I think, 150 8x10s pictured up with his name on it. I think I had King of the Cage on. Anyways, I had 2 different sets set up, and when he was done fighting or whatever, we started having him out in the deciding, and there was not many kids there, and there might have been 8 or 10 kids there. They fell in love with him.
Yeah.
This guy's getting an autograph picture. You know, the other thing I made sure I did, because even though I was with TFC at the time, we fought for King of the Cage, but I made sure Mark Sinclair was there from TFC, and I also made sure Moyne and Harvey were there from Aggression.
Right.
And I made sure they saw this fucking guy in the cage. Because my job was to, you know, and then they both fell in love with him. So the way it worked out was that fight was in May, and then July there was 3 shows in 4 weeks. So the way it worked out, there was Aggression was like July 7th, TFC was July 14th, and then King of the Cage was like July 28th at Rexall. So I started talking to these guys, okay, what do you want to do? You know, I was driving up the price. You know, what do you want to do? What are you going to do? They all wanted him on the card. All 3 of them wanted him on the card. They all thought that I would go with TFC because at the time that was the only company I was working with. And they thought, you know, I remember talking to Moyne and Harvey about that after. They thought that I would just use them to drive the price up to TFC. And I talked to Mark and I said, man, I work for you, but you got to realize if I'm going to represent a fighter, I represent him. I don't represent myself, and I don't represent TFC. And they're like, oh yeah, of course, business. Well, Kai and I talked, and he's like, you know what? He goes, I think I could do 2 fights in 3 weeks. So I'm like, so cool. So we went with Aggression on the 7th, and then we went with King of the Cage at Rexall on the 28th, and we didn't go with TFC. So all of a sudden, now the TFC's mad at me. Now all of a sudden I'm not working the show.